All right, guys, so we got a new toy that I'm gonna be showing you guys that's been here for a good while, but it's now summertime and it's now the appropriate time to start it up and get it running. Here it beholds, another jet ski. Some of you guys already know about my 96 Wave Runner 3 that I rebuilt the motor and jet pump in. There might be a couple YouTube shorts about that. Here it is. 2000 Kawasaki Ultra 150 that is brand new, pretty much under 100 hours with a rebuilt motor and jet pump. Now, for those of you who don't know, the Kawasaki Ultra 150 is probably the fastest two-stroke jet ski ever made in a small frame like this. Usually a big motor such as in here, which is like a 1200 slant 3-cylinder, is usually found in the big 3-seaters. This one's in a 2-seater. No, this is not my jet ski. This is my brother's jet ski. He bought back in February. He saw it on Facebook Marketplace, and long story short, he got it for $2,800. He bought it from a marine mechanic that actually rebuilt the motor and jet pump. The hull, seat, everything is in very good condition. There's a couple little minor things right here. The jet pump in the back has this adjustable trim, so you can trim it up or trim it down. Normal stop, land your thing, and start just like how that Wave Runner 3 is. So we got a storage thing under here. That's for the key right there. Under the main hood, we got the fire extinguisher, typical stuff, ventilation things, gas, and oil. So under the seat, we obviously have the motor, all the wiring harness and everything, the oil tank right here. Obviously there's the fuel tank. Like I said, everything looks brand new. That's because it pretty much is. It's been pretty much restored. This right here, the dude added this so you can spray starting fluid in there to get the motor running and basically prime up the fuel system. Here's the water inlet hookup. The battery's shot, which I got a new one I'm gonna put in there. All right, so I got the new battery, 310 coil cranking amps. It's a 20 size, and that's just it's gonna be terrible to film. So I'm just gonna do my little magic trick. All right, so the only things we need to do now is we need to check the fuel, add some fresh gas to it, add some oil to it, turn the fuel on, hook the hose up, take that out and shoot some starting fluid in it, and it should start. And if you're wondering, yes, it still has the oil injection. These Kawasaki Ultra 150 engines, you have to leave the oil injection on them. My brother was telling me about this, and I'm telling you guys now because I didn't know this. You have to leave the oil injection because the oil pump that drives the oil injection actually lubricates the main bearings on the crankshaft. So if you run premix in these Ultra 150 engines, you will in fact destroy the engine by doing that because you will starve the main bearings from oil. And everybody says that the Ultra 150 oiling system is bulletproof as long as you change the lines, and they're good. And they're brand new lines on there because the dude rebuilt the motor. So I don't think there's very much fuel in here. This is a massive gas tank. I'm not really a fuel additive person, but this stuff actually does work. And now for some two-stroke oil. Hey, there we go. There's the trim adjustment. That works. This thing is running awesome. Man, this thing sounds phenomenal, awesome, every word you could think of. This 120 horsepower, Pretty sure that's what this motor makes. I'm gonna play a clip of the old Polaris SL 650, and you can kind of hear the difference between this one and that one. And it's also a 3-cylinder. We no longer have the Polaris, unfortunately. I wanted to kind of rebuild that motor, but as soon as I got mine done, we got 2 more Sea-Doos and we started working on those, and we just kind of pushed the Polaris to the side. The oil pump on the Polaris was the point of failure because Polaris designs on the oil pump just were not good back then, and the fuel delivery system were not that good either because one of the carburetors could be starved of fuel. We've had a lot of fun and some good times on the Polaris, but we got 4 other jet skis now, and we went from 1 to 0 to now having 4. The only downsides really with the jet ski is, well, there's no reverse, but I rarely use reverse anyways on the Sea-Doos, and my Yamaha doesn't have it, and you only use reverse when you're docking, so it's really not that big a deal. And second, which I don't know, I'm kind of OCD about this, but the slant 3, where the 3 cylinders are like this, I would rather have it if it's up like this, but I'm just a little OCD about that, but oh well. It sounds awesome and it runs great and it makes a load of power. So what are we waiting for? Let's get this thing in the water. Y'all thought it was gonna roll in the water, didn't you? So we got choke on. All right. This thing makes a lot of drone noise. It's smooth and everything. I like barely got the throttle down. Alright, so it didn't really want to rev up like really high, but I'm not really going to rev it too high because the engine's still kind of breaking in. So I kind of want to seat the rings a little bit better. But yeah, it's idling really smooth. I think it really just needs to get warmed up and broken in. It's going to run a lot better. So I've been riding around a good while on that side of the bridge, and everything seems to be fine. It's definitely revving up a lot higher now since it's warmed up, and I guess the engine's getting more broken in. But now, since we got some flat water and there's nobody driving, you know, giant mega yachts and crap, we could probably do a good speed run now. All right, so we got the trim all the way down. Let's see what this thing will do. Woo, that is fast. thing is awesome. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Ultra 150 that is now covered by a tarp again. And there's also a cat that's been hiding in there. So yeah, I was mainly riding this thing on July 4th because my Wave Runner 3 over there, the ignition decided to go out July 3rd. And I'm still trying to figure that out. I think it's a CDI box because I've already tried different coil. But this thing did very well out there. Like I was, you know, jumping waves, outrunning pretty much everybody else on the lake, let's just be honest. I did do a top speed run later that day and I did not film it because trying to film and drive and worry about dropping my phone in the water, that's very scary on a jet ski. But I did hit 65 miles an hour later that day when it was like flat, and that is hauling butt, let me tell you. Another downside of this jet ski, it is a gas hog. I mean, I probably ran through 15 gallons of fuel that day, and I wasn't riding it wide open all day long either. It was just kind of just riding normally. But yeah, this thing uses some fuel, but other than that, everything else on it was great. My brother can't wait to get back home and drive it, and hopefully I can get my Wave Runner 3 fixed, and I can also drive with him. Obviously this one's going to win, but we'll make some more videos on that soon in the future. Also, these Sea-Doos over here that you guys saw in the video, both of these did very well and didn't give us any trouble. So hopefully you like this video. If you did, you guys know what to do. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down twice because two's better than one. If you got any other comments on this Kawasaki Ultra 150, any other tips, any questions, anything like that, put them down in the comments because I would like to read it. Other people would like to read it. So I will see you guys in the next one.